Currency.
Stuck a couple bitcoins.
Money,
Pull up on my Nakamoto.
Hello. Welcome, everybody, to the Blockchain Dynamics Show.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, we're chilling here. It is Sunday, September 24th.
Year 2017.
Episode count is 80.
And today we will have special guest Not So Fast.
Hello. Hail and well met, fine fellows. How are you?
Doing great, man. Thanks for being here.
Oh, thank you for inviting me again. 80. That's a big number.
Counting up, man. It never stops.
Yeah, congratulations, both of you.
Thank you. Yeah, we always love doing our 10-week recap episodes here with Mr. Not So Fast. Of course, you've probably heard of him on Twitter. Just a coin trading guy.
He's got the Not So Fast at Not So Fast now. That was probably not the case 10 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, I think it might have been. I just might have snagged it.
Might have just got it.
Yeah, that was a fun, epic little journey.
As usual, we are sponsored by Cryptopia. That's over at cryptopia.co.nz.
That's right. They're your one-stop crypto shop. You're definitely going to want to check out Cryptopia. That it is an altcoin exchange. In addition to the exchange, they have a variety of other features. They also have tons of great alternate base pairs, a lot of just good old-fashioned proof-of-work coins, a lot of older coins, just stuff you want to trade. It's chilling. It's over there at Cryptopia.
Yep, they've got a forum as well, which is a pretty good spot to get in touch with us, stay up to date with the show, and we also have a 10,000 dot giveaway today, which is their native currency over at Cryptopia.
We love giving away them dots. Let's see, last week, the trivia question. Somebody got it, I'm surprised.
Yep, last week they said they Google searched for it and found it, actually.
Really?
Yep.
Nice.
Last week the question was, name a coin that was over 6 years old and started with a 96 coin block reward. The answer to that was IXC, a.k.a. IX coin.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, that coin was older than Litecoin, or not quite?
I think it might be older than Litecoin. Yeah, it's like one of the oldest Bitcoin forks.
Or at least it is old.
It is old.
It's over 6
Definitely
years.
old.
So yeah, we'll have another question today during the show. Another trivia question. Another chance to win those sweet, sweet dots.
Yep.
All right, Not So Fast, what's up with you, man? How you been doing? What's been going on for you in these last 11 weeks?
I guess I've been with, like you guys, watching with interest at the ICO flood while trying to maintain my way out there edge. Well, it used to be popular and now it's way out there of looking at proof of work coins that are good and mining those. I guess in the past 10 weeks I messed up my hand and then got back that functionality again. So I was Twitter only for a while, which was interesting in its own right, but a little bit singularly faceted, so I didn't get up to much deep discussion with anybody, which I sorely missed, and I'm now getting back in spades with you guys. So I'm really happy to get on with stuff. And once again, like we were saying, every 10 weeks it seems like we enter a totally new, completely different, you guys use the word epoch, and I agree with it, in all of crypto. And it's so fascinating to listen to these 10 multiple blockchain dynamics episodes, because it really is a whole new game, like every 10 weeks. And you guys kind of have the crest of each wave, which is really cool.
Yeah, week to week, I feel, you're kind of in the forest. It's a little bit hard to see what's going on. And then stepping back to the 10 weeks, it is a little bit different view. And I'm glad you're feeling better with your hand, too.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're definitely going to want to have use of both hands in the coin game, I think.
Definitely needed in order to hold bags such as we do.
Yeah, exactly. You can carry all those bags with one arm, dude. That's not all right. So we're going to kick it off with the news, and then we are going to go into our 10-week review segment.
We're just going to look at kind of a little bit of news in the last few days, more so than the last 10-week news.
Yeah, we're just going to do the
fresh
news.
One thing that happened this week that I enjoyed quite a bit was Charlie Lee participating in some atomic swaps with various chains.
Atomic swaps. Did you hear about these? Not so fast?
Oh, I did with interest, because I've got such a heavy weight in Blocknet, which, as everybody knows who's listened to my shilling, is an atomic swap platform native to most currencies. It's cool to see those atomic swaps happening completely outside of the Blocknet protocol and just natively on any coin that implemented segregated witness, which is super cool, because if it happens with every currency and they're all interchangeable, we all win.
Yeah, I was kind of describing it to Brando as the Hydra finally getting its body a little bit, you know.
Oh,
Nice,
that's a cool way of talking about it.
Yeah, so the swaps that went down this week, they did a Litecoin Decred atomic swap, Litecoin Vertcoin, and Litecoin Bitcoin. And I guess atomic swap is just where you queue up, each person queues up the transaction, and then they both complete kind of simultaneously.
Yeah,
as one.
a multi-sig wallet on each chain can be created and with a time lock, and then you provide the person with the key, and you unlock it at the same time or something like that. One unlocks the other. I don't quite.
That's crazy.
I haven't ever
They
participated
take an
in
extra
one.
confirmation, but one unlocks the other, and it kind of has an if-then, where if the transaction doesn't go off, then the first one, whichever one is first, doesn't go off, then the original coins are returned to their wallet rather than transferred to the other person. So there was a way to do it from the command line since 2011 probably, and people did it just to prove the concept, but to automate it, and I think segregated witness makes it so that it can be automated easily. And then the opcode in all these Bitcoin forks of check lock time verify, or CLTV, is what allows that's the basic framework of it, and SegWit, as I understand, just makes it easier.
Right, yeah, it seemed like SegWit wasn't even 100% necessary for the particular swap that Charlie Lee was doing this week.
Oh, interesting. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, pretty interesting stuff, though.
So in a way, people are just taking advantage of technology that's been around for a while.
Yeah, well, Bitcoin has apparently like 80 plus opcodes that just aren't even used. So like smart contractability, like people are programming with that stuff and coding with it experimentally, but they're not really doing stuff with it yet because there's all these political issues that take the cake.
Yeah, that's really... It has been a lot of fighting over the Bitcoin name and stuff in this last 10 weeks as well.
Yeah, it's weird. Everybody, essentially, the whole regulatory issue, people didn't seem to really care about it any time from March through July. Basically the last 10-week thing that we did, essentially that epoch, I guess, was right after they had made the ruling on the ETF or whatever, and then since then everybody kind of forgot about it, and now it's like this huge cloud. Everyone's just wondering when the next major crackdown is going to be.
One small news story that reminds me of, too, that isn't on this list, but I saw that somebody's trying to apply for a Canadian ETF for Bitcoin now, too.
Oh, nice.
I noticed that with great interest, because there are all these, tax-free investment vehicles that the government of Canada offers you. And since I'm Canadian, I would love to be able to make Bitcoin-level gains tax-free. There's, similar to a 401k, there's called a RRSP, just a registered retirement plan, and then there's a TFSA, or a tax-free savings account, where for every year you're alive, you're allowed $5,000 worth of contribution room, and any profits you make in there are tax-free. So if you can put that into a Bitcoin ETF, you're doing mighty fine, I would think.
Oh, yeah, that sounds excellent.
Yeah. I hope they get allowed. If we in Canada have much more friendly atmosphere towards cryptocurrencies, I hope it becomes reflected by the legislators putting their money where their mouth is and letting that ETF go on the books. And I think it'll draw a lot of bunch of investment income from all over the world if they manage to go legal with that.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Yeah, I'd be all about it. All right, see what else we got in the news this week. Just more China FUD.
Yep, it goes back and forth constantly. What are they banning exactly? And then, of course, it's all rumors, so everybody has the friend who knows the real story, it seems like. I figured that regardless of the speculation, though, one thing that is clear now is that the volume trading in China has gone down a lot in the last 10 weeks, and particularly in a shorter time frame than that.
So there is cracking down for sure on the Chinese exchanges.
Yeah, and it just shows they're occupying a majority of the news, but they're less and less big part of the trading news, basically because they're being shut out of the scene. in a way. So you used to be like, remember back in the day, all you'd hear about is, what's China doing for the market? And, like, people would like watch the market to see, what the time of the morning was in China, to try and figure out like what was going to happen.
For sure, BTC USD traders would that was their primary reason for not going to sleep, is because they're waiting for China to wake up.
China.
And now they don't have to. But I keep feeling like with all this China FUD, like there's a lot more nuance to it that we're just not getting. Like I'm sure that you can pay a fee or a bribe to anyone and keep on trading the way you were trading, or get access to a VPN that lets you trade outside of Chinese exchanges and keep moving capital around like you always did or always needed to. I feel like there's a lot of, like, the dam that they put in place has got leaks everywhere. I feel like, yeah.
You're right. I bet you're right there. I mean, with most, very hard to stop people from doing things on the internet.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's also just hard to, usually the level of reporting is at a pretty low level, and we don't really have access to a lot of people who actually know directly what's happening with this.
Oh,
so
for
it's
sure.
like
It's
third, fourth hand. Yeah, exactly. Third and fourth hand, like things that we're hearing. So I would be curious to see. Only time is going to tell us to what effect, this is going to have long term. Some of the questions that people have now are like, mostly kind of what's going to happen to the miners, since most of the miners are in China. If they were to actually,
yeah,
go ahead.
No. One of the many rumors I heard is that there are like massive mining operations looking to offload bulk, and when I say bulk, I mean like multiple football field sized warehouses full. And so me talking to just other people who are mining enthusiasts, try to figure out what the logistics of it would be. I talked to a guy in I think Portugal. Not a whole lot I can say, but he had access, or at least knowledge of, a massive, completely underutilized data center that, if only you could get enough shipping boats to take over all these things. And then people saying, oh yeah, we're just across the Russian border. Like, we've got an area in Mongolia. We could make a deal with this power generation place here. Like, that's the level of infrastructure that you're dealing with that kind of thing. But if you could snag all that equipment and mobilize the logistics, I mean, it would take probably millions of dollars in liquid assets to make that happen. But you could probably get a major revenue generating mining operation if you're creative and rich.
Right. Yeah, those graphics cards and those ASICs and everything got to go somewhere.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was wondering, right? If these miners get shut down, what happens to mining? So, I mean, obviously, I guess that's a kind of a window into it, just millions of ASICs.
One perspective I saw out there was that it will maybe quell some people's problems with mining becoming so centralized in China.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, and that'll be interesting to see borne out. I mean, I'm sure you're going to mine like hell until the people come to turn off your machines and put people in handcuffs. Like, that's what you do, I'm sure, in China. So I don't think they're at that point yet. Even if like, a portion of this FUD is true, and they could reverse the decision later. So it could be, like a temporary shutdown, but not long enough to really destroy the useful life of all the capital equipment that they've got to mine with. So it'll be very interesting to see how it shakes out in the next little while.
Yep.
Well, if I could get a cheap ASIC, I'd be all about it.
Yeah, or like a million cheap ASICs.
Yeah. I don't know if I could handle that many, but
me neither.
Maybe like 2.
My basement's already maxed.
So yeah, that's the other item in the news this week. Of course, just more China regulatory concerns. I think that is going to wrap it up for the news this week.
Yeah, and I think we're going to move into our 10-week review.
Love it. So a little bit of context here. Last time we had Mr. Not So Fast Crypto on the show was July 9th. And for that one, the period of time that we covered on the show was April 23rd through July 9th.
Okay.
That does seem like a long time ago now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Crypto just moves so fast, it's crazy.
I remember June and July were a lot of altcoins going up, that's for sure.
Yes.
Along with Bitcoin. we have written down that in that 10-week cycle, alts had gained 140% versus Bitcoin and 400% versus USD.
Oh my gosh.
That's awesome. So yeah, that was one of the best 10-week cycles for altcoins, probably just about ever.
At that point, Bitcoin was sitting at $2,550, which was kind of on its way down from $3,000, and ETH was at $230 on its way down from $400.
Interesting that we're at sort of similar retracements from all-time highs at this 10-week marker.
Yeah, we feel sort of similar too. At least I do. I was probably under the impression that 3,000 was some sort of top when we had spoke last. The market had been expressing extreme euphoria.
That's true.
All over the place.
And that was the height of the alt run. Like, alts had just gone crazy, and it's so, especially alt traders especially, I think were incredibly excited at that point. And then it was a long, that run from 3,000 to 1,800 or so was a pretty long, downtrend compared to what had been otherwise basically a straight up bull run. So it was kind of easy to see how that felt. And yeah, we really are in a parallel situation now, having seen Bitcoin hit 5,000 in this run, and now we're kind of on this again protracted slide where you look at the absolute numbers and it's like, oh shit, Bitcoin's down $1,400 or whatever, but then you go back onto a 10 or 20 week time frame and all of a sudden you're still way ahead.
Right.
Yeah, like for most of our careers, there wasn't $1,400 worth of Bitcoin for it to go down in.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. The daily swings are what used to be the price of Bitcoin.
yeah.
So that was
Fun
kind
stuff.
of talking about the cycle prior to this one.
Yes. So now we're looking to look at the current 10 weeks, what has happened in this last 10 weeks, the time period that we are covering now, July 9th through September 24. How do you feel, Not So Fast? You think alt's killing it this 10-week period? Alts are suffering?
I don't know. It's so hard to wrap my head around because now, as I'm sure we're going to see, alts are no longer something that went through a few weeks to a few months of price discovery and then regular technically analyzed price movement. Now it's we enter the market huge at this number that was sold at this purported self-reference valuation in an ICO. And so I think we're going to see a lot less synchronized movement of all altcoins together. And we're going to see a lot more price discovery to the downside for a lot of these things. And there's a whole, I don't know, the asset classes widened, so it's not going to be as simple as alts did this while Bitcoin did this anymore. And we're going to maybe start having a look at subclasses of them, which I think brings you guys to the whole categorization of all the coins that you saw in the last 10 weeks.
Yeah, I think that's really a great point. It's just the method of valuing these things that we're used to, or the way that we used to try and consider the value of coins and compare them. It almost doesn't make sense in the way that it used to with how coins are valued these days, like you said, with ICOs. It's all of a sudden it's like, oh, we generated an ICO, it's worth 90 million. And that's just kind of there. It's not like it didn't go from 0 to 90 million. It just kind of started out there because of this like outside capital that gets invested in.
Sure.
It's crazy. So looking at the last 11 weeks, we have 136 new additions to CoinMarketCap.
Ones that actually have coin market caps listed.
Right, ones that have values that we can actually compare against.
Yep.
That's actually down 1 from the last period. So the rate at which these coins are getting generated might have stalled a little bit.
Or at least hasn't increased.
Yeah.
The average market cap out of those 136 added is 77 million.
Which is
Oh my God.
unbelievably large.
astronomical. That's
Yeah.
huge.
Unbelievably large. That's a 300% gain from the last roundup when it was 25 million, which at the time was an unbelievably large number.
Oh, unreal. And this is the definite ICO epoch because there's no way that number can increase organically unless USD denominated money is pouring into the space.
Yep. Yeah, and it's ICOs. It's all ICOs.
Of course, the median market cap of those additions is much lower. It's 2.78 million. But that's also up 2.5 times from where it was the last period when it was at 1.1 million.
So yeah, even the median is still the numbers are top heavy. It's the biggest coins that are dragging the numbers up. But even then, the gains are across the board. These medians are still climbing too. I'm a little curious to look. I'm gonna go back to show 10 and see what the number was like then for the median market cap if I have it.
Cool.
All right, so on show 10, when we first started the show, like at the beginning of 2016. The median market cap of the new coin market cap listings was $7,000.
Oh my god.
Okay.
And now, for context, so it's 2.78 million this time around.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Do you know the date on that?
It was April 30th, 2016.
So not even really that long ago.
Not
And
really,
The median
no.
market cap was $7,000. Holy shit.
That's funny stuff. That was 7 BTC back then. More than that. That was probably like 15 Bitcoin back then.
That's true.
So back to the numbers, the overall numbers this week. Yeah, 91 ICOs out of 136 new coins. The ICOs are coming in with an average value of 37 million. Which is a cool 37 mil.
Yeah.
Median of 8.6 million. The sad part about this, right? If the median value of any ICO that comes out is 8.7 million, that means if you had just been using like a really simple trading strategy of buying any ICO that was worth 5 million or less, the chances are you would have made like a shitload.
Jeez. Yeah, no, that makes sense. The ICO buyers groups that get them in bulk rates or undisclosed rates way below what they're actually offering to the public, those guys make money hand over fist, and it's pretty much guaranteed.
Right. Yeah, it seems like it's still, after the last 10 weeks, we'd noticed this, and we were wondering if it would persist, if you could still kind of just use a blanket strategy or a kind of a random investment strategy on ICOs, and it seems like you probably still could have, at least for the last 10.
Yeah.
God knows how.
Well, as long as you picked these ones that ended up getting this far on this list, maybe, too.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, that's true. We're only seeing coins that get to coin market cap. So ICOs that are just total cash grabs that never even come onto the market or that kind of stuff aren't reflected in these numbers.
Yeah, or even ones that maybe their value doesn't come for a longer period of time, or who knows.
Like Elastic or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's still complications, obviously, with some of these, just kind of random investing strategies, but still impressive to see these insane numbers that ICOs are putting up right now. So that's ICOs. But what about good old-fashioned proof-of-work coins?
Proof of what now?
Yeah,
the numbers don't reflect what people know. What the people know what that is. They know Bitcoin does mining, and it's somewhere in China, and then everything else is ICO, right?
I think that's how it works. So this is funny. We tabulated the 136 of new coin market cap additions, and only 4 of them fit into the category of just a no pre-mine proof-of-work coin.
Keep in mind, again, those are ones that are on CoinMarketCap. There's some exceptions out there of ones that are either recently listed or things like that.
That's true. And we saw a lot more of these announced and launched, so it seems like a pretty large percentage of them, of the straight no pre-mine, or this includes proof-of-stake, too. If it's a proof-of-work / proof-of-stake, that gets counted. But
yep.
It seems like a lot of those aren't hanging around,
But it probably reflects the overall percentage pretty well of what's actually happening out there. There was just a huge amount of ICOs compared to proof-of-work chains.
That's true. And those 4 coins that we have here on the list are Smart Cash is the biggest one. That's at, looks like, 9 million market cap. Signatum is the second biggest at 3.8 million. And then there's Bible Pay at 95,000 and Crone Coin at 25,000.
Yep.
Bible Pay, I got to give more credit to because they had a really cool kind of airdrop. Yet for some reason it didn't work with my virtual machine, so I missed out. But yeah, I just want to check and see what back of the envelope calculation Bridge Coin's market cap would be at, because they were in that period, and they kind of, because they have only their own DEX and they just recently got listed on Nova, they kind of don't.
Yep, that one would have been on this list.
Market cap, but they might be the highest market cap proof of work coin in there.
Yeah, we'd have to see what the supply is. I wonder if they have a good block of supply.
It's about 1269 BTC. So definitely, yeah, pretty good.
1,269.
Oh no, not
BTC.
quite. Yeah, 4.5 million. That would be more or less
So that would kind of be right in the mix there with Signatum.
right in the mix.
And,
Not the highest as I had hoped or thought, but definitely in there.
Yeah, I was surprised. I really don't know too much about this. The coin that's the highest market cap. It's Smart Cash, and I went back and checked it out, and it looks like it's a zero cash family of coin, and one that kind of eluded my gaze. So I'm a little curious about that one. Signatum, I think we probably all have heard of at this point, but
Yeah.
Bible Pay and Crone Coin, those are kind of two interesting ones to see standing out in this category too.
Crowncoin I missed completely.
Yep,
Yeah.
same. With Bible Pay, I wouldn't have expected that to stick around either.
Okay. So that's kind of the few totally no pre-mine proof-of-work coins that are on CoinMarketCap since the last 11-week period.
We also had 3 waves tokens get into the mix. Those came in with an average of about 3 million market cap.
They are Bowhead, Co-Eval, and Shadow Token.
Cool.
Yeah, not much to really say about those myself.
There was like 1 million waves tokens that got launched, but most of them don't ever get past the waves internal exchange that they have.
Yeah, like we were saying, Waves tokens have the lowest barrier. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you can even issue a token and make it reissuable, so anybody who wants to can just like print more.
Yep,
Oh, nice.
That's all true. that's all part of the
Kind
mix.
of removes the need for a marketplace then.
Sometimes you got to mint some more tokens, man.
Yeah.
So some of the other categories we have here would be like the pre-mine categories. We have a low pre-mine category, a pre-mine category, and a wallet builders category for the super shitty clones.
So those are all actually mineable coins too.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. We had 3 in the low pre-mine category. I think there were DAS,
Vivo.
and Frazcoin. And then we had 19 that we put in the pre-mine category, which for us just means they have huge, kind of excessive pre-mines. There might have been a couple that we miscategorized, but
Or that might have been using their large pre-mines for something.
correct. Yeah, I think we missed a few airdrops in this sweep overall, because we only had 2 airdrops, 3 airdrops total that we counted.
It's fair to put something in the high pre-mine category, especially if they have an airdrop, but they're taking a long time to distribute it, right?
Yeah, exactly. There's a kind of a gray area there of like what percentage has to be airdropped before you can call it an airdrop. But it is what it is. So, and then we also had in kind of an interesting category here, 1 crypto note coin.
Yeah. One crypto note coin made it to CoinMarketCap, and that's called Bitcoin.
This is surprising for us because we see 1 to 2 new crypto note coins get launched every single week, like without exception. So that means there's been at least 20 new crypto note coins basically since we did this last, and only 1 of them has made it to CoinMarketCap. So apparently they're not.
And was it ever worked out whether these new crypto note coins have the same exploit that took down Bullberry or not? whether they've been on the fork that's fixed or the fork that's still vulnerable?
Not in general, but I remember there was one recently that directly addressed it somehow, and Brandon liked that fact. But
Yeah.
in general, I mean, you would have to, I suppose, check the code base and know what you were looking for.
But yeah, as a general rule, they just don't even mention it in most of the posts, which is not a good sign.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Was it Graham Higgins, that Bitcoin Talk user, that busted that wide open? I feel like it was him, even if it wasn't. He's a good guy. I want to give him credit for.
I don't remember, but we'll give him a shout out either way.
Yeah.
Graham Higgins, kudos to you, sir. So yeah, funny stuff. Really no way to think about the coins without realizing that the ICOs have dominated. But even then, with even the small number of actual kind of more conventional coins that get launched, they are doing really well.
Right. Certainly the proof of work average market caps are much higher than that 7,000 you mentioned.
Yeah, that it used to be, right?
From a
Yeah,
while
no,
back.
absolutely.
Last year.
So
Can
therefore,
I just make a request on what is that fake airdrop listing that you guys have here? Is that so
What-
special that it needed its own?
it did need its own category. Oh, it was Droxney.
Oh, right.
Droxney.
Okay, I've seen some shills of that, and it was definitely a top volume trading pair somewhere that I saw there was something fishy about.
And the reason that we labeled it that way is because the pre-mine was huge and the airdrop was like a tiny percentage of it.
Right. There was also, of course, the giant fork of Bitcoin Cash.
Yeah, that's true. We didn't mention it, but the by far largest market cap of any new coin this cycle was Bitcoin Cash, coming in at a cool $7 billion.
That may not. It was definitely not seen before. It may be seen again in November, but I guess that'll be included in the next epoch, won't it?
I guess so.
Yeah, whatever the next giant Bitcoin fork is, we can pile it into the list there. See how many top 10 coins can just be Bitcoin. Yeah, that is funny.
Oh man, Bitcoin Cash.
Yeah, I mean
I
that's
don't even know what to say about it.
Yeah, what else is... There's only... we have two other airdrops on here that were a bit better distributed, which was KEKcoin and Slevin during that period.
Yeah, so unfortunate. Airdrops.
I had a weird thing happen with my KEKcoin. I think I got... they had a HTML-based private key generator, and I think it duplicated mine with somebody else's, because I
that's
definitely
crazy.
wasn't hacked, but somebody sent the coins that I had planned to stake to an exchange wallet. So I think me and someone else were controlling the same wallet on
Man, that's so unusual. That's bizarre.
It's definitely the kind of thing that makes you run a gigantic security sweep of your whole system. But
Yeah,
everything was airtight. It was just that, and it was the only place I could think of that. It was weird. Anyway, I talked to the dev, and the dev knows what's going on. But I don't know. Could have been just a freak thing.
And then there's one other category I see in this list, which was swaps. And there were two swaps that was Particle and Verta Unique Coin that swapped their tickers this 10-week period on CoinMarketCap.
Huh.
Particle obviously was Shadow Cash before. That's the big one. The Verta Unique coin. It's just the same. It's been swapped like 3 times before.
Oh, that's strange.
They just keep
Shadow
keep
Cash
swapping
definitely needed to get rid of its bad name.
them. Yeah, Shadow Cash doesn't.
Now it's just family-friendly Particle.
Just good old Particle. Come on down. Get your Particle. But it has a huge market cap, like 57 million. So not bad. So yeah, overall, really just crazy numbers. Crazy numbers this time. It's hard to really wrap your head around it. Okay, so that was kind of the characterization of the last 10 weeks of coins. So now we're just going to look at the markets. See what the hell happened in the markets in the last 11 weeks. Once again, it's July 9th through September 24. Bitcoin is up $1,150 in that time, which is 45% gain.
Hear that, people? Still up.
Yeah, it's crazy how much volatility you miss.
That's definitely surprising to me, to be up that much in this 10-week period from where we were. So, but that was just based on how I felt, 10 weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know.
Oh, sure.
In that time, we have Ethereum up about 17%. That's a $41 gain. So it was about $245 last time. Chilling at $286.50 right now. So Ethereum underperforming Bitcoin, which kind of seems to be the story of all of the altcoins this time around.
Right. Coins up versus Bitcoin. Out of the top 200 in those 11 weeks, 39 of them up out of the top 200. So not a great percentage there.
No, definitely not.
Bitcoin's USD value dragging up a few more of them. 78 out of those 200 up against USD.
Yeah, so really a cooling period for altcoins, but also with the number of ICOs that hit the marketplace and immediately dropped. That's maybe not so surprising.
Yeah, and the way this is calculated is it actually goes... We take a look at only coins that were around at that time. So,
awesome.
So the
Okay.
top 200 coins here is basically coins that were already existed 10 weeks ago or 11 weeks ago.
My mistake. So it was a down period for altcoins.
Yeah, so the overall in this top 200 list of what the top 200 was 11 weeks ago, they lost 27% of their Bitcoin value. They did pick up about 6.5% versus USD, so the huge Bitcoin gains still dragged them up a little bit.
Yeah.
But really way underperforming Bitcoin, which is the opposite of what happened last time, where we had alts doubling up versus Bitcoin, which also doubled up.
Right.
These median numbers are terrible. We got a median change versus Bitcoin 40 minus 45%, and median change versus USD of 19%.
Yep, down 19%. That's a pretty harsh drop.
So it was actually really hard to hold altcoins and not get owned, either versus USD or Bitcoin in this last cycle.
I mean, I took some drawdowns that were more pain than I'd ever seen in my life, probably twice during this epoch. But I don't know. Looking at things today, I can't really complain.
Yeah, it's weird. My portfolio has been pretty stagnant this whole time, and I definitely, like you said, some of my coins just completely went to shit. But overall, it's just combined with Bitcoin going up as much as it has, it's kind of been like in a weird way, kind of flat overall.
Yeah, probably good enough like risk mitigation in your picks probably, and then there are some way out there picks that just don't really change no matter what is going on at all. You're just kinda sitting there hoping for moon on the next leg where everything moons or what have you.
I have like 100 coins, so I definitely I always get a little bit of everything. They stack up. They stack up after a while. If you trade long enough, you end up with a shitload of coins, whether you want them or not.
Yeah, especially if you do that thing where you consider a full exit as just 90% and then keep that 10% moon bag that you just kind of put on a back page of a spreadsheet. And then...
well, if you're me, you're going to want to fully exit, maybe 2 days before the actual moon. That's usually how I like to play it myself.
You just finally get sick of it 2 days before it.
Yeah, that's a bold way.
But there's been some coins that went up really well this period. Rise is the top winner, up 522%.
Sweet Jesus. That's
wow.
impressive, man.
Yeah.
Monaco.
Sorry. Yeah. Oh, no, it's all good. I was just saying Rise was a pretty big ICO with a lot of eyes on it.
It was a big ICO in its day. By our standard now, it seems like pretty small, but it was huge in its day, and it kind of got probably some of the most laughed at of any of the ICOs for quite a while. It was the butt of a lot of jokes for quite a while.
Who's laughing now, Rise? 520%.
Rise gets the last laugh. Who should have known? I mean, it's in the name right there. They're telling you what it's going to do.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another one that did really well was Monaco, up 319%. ARC also up 255%. BlockNet up 136%. Oop.
Nice.
Yeah.
What else? Which other ones you guys like on there?
Lunar. I think a lot of people were happy about that. Lunar's up 107%. IO coin delisted from just about everywhere, still up 107%. That's cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, badass.
Lisk went up 84%, which for its size was pretty impressive.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so overall, there are a lot of coins. These numbers are versus Bitcoin. And there's a lot of these coins that have done really well versus Bitcoin, but not as well as you might expect, for, the 10th biggest gainer to only be up 84%. That's not a huge... Shows that there haven't been as many of these huge pumps recently as there had been.
Certainly not as many as our previous period.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see, how low can you go on the other side of the fence
These
here?
losers, so in the way that, aside from Rise and Monaco, there weren't too many huge gainers this time, these losers are incredible.
If you were holding Earthcoin, you lost 97% of your value versus Bitcoin.
Incredible. Kryptonite, that's a minus 96%.
Yep. WorldCoin, also down 95%. And some other ones.
I don't know what YB coin is. That one always shows up. I don't know what it actually is.
Megacoin down 93%.
Quark is down 93%. Dubai coin down 90%, but they swapped that chain out. So yeah,
VPN was an airdrop. I'm wondering if these are all seeming to be older proof of work coins. So I wonder if just this is the time when they get quietly time warp attacked to oblivion because hardly anyone but multi-pools are mining them, and so they have such fluctuating hash rate that it's easy to step in with a relatively inexpensive amount of hash rate on a modified wallet and just submit a whole bunch of blocks, double spend by sending a bunch to exchange, and then just looting the buy side.
It seems like we saw a lot of that happening this year for sure, right?
Yeah, I didn't put that together, but that's a really good observation. Not so fast. It's pretty obvious, actually, when you look at it now. These are all old proof of work coins. But definitely where you would have expected it to find a floor, some of these attacks and stuff have made that disappear, and they're just kind of losing everything.
They're just digging new sub-basements instead of finding that floor.
Maybe this is it. Maybe this is the time to buy, right? How much lower can
Yeah.
it possibly go than minus 97%? Well, this is crypto, so...
99.9.
Yeah, it could go a lot lower.
It could go lower.
That's funny. Yeah, really interesting stuff there. So that's the kind of the markets for the last 11 weeks. Overall, altcoins, they gained a little bit of USD value. They got annihilated versus Bitcoin. Even Ethereum. Nothing really was able to post major gains versus Bitcoin except for a handful of winners.
Yeah, Bitcoin definitely had the spotlight, I think. Just with, running to 5,000 USD and then really, really coming off hard like a little over a week ago. Or a little over 2 weeks ago now. Time all flows together at this point for me.
Yeah.
Man. I don't know.
Yeah, I hear you there. It all goes so... That's why like the 10-week probably is nice once again, just because week to week it is a little bit hard to keep track of.
I'm like looking at the 1 minute chart these days. I have a hard time even going back an hour. Got to get that 10-week perspective every once in a while.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, I think that will wrap it up here for the 11-week review, 11/10 week review. Good stuff.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Not so fast.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, it seems like a big like sort of transitional period as far as pricing and stuff goes. Like maybe in the next 10-week period, stuff is gonna go up a whole lot or like down a whole lot. It doesn't seem like we're gonna get another limbo zone like we did this one.
You're not going to get a 4,000 in sideways. I think that's what we all would like to see, but
yeah, I feel like we're not going to get it though. I feel like I'd love to see that 4,000 in sideways just so much, just as a breather while alts have a launch pad. But I don't think we're going to see it. I think there's going to be too much other crazy shit going on.
No, it ain't going to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always something. So let's take a look at this week's, or rather, the last few days worth of the top 100.
Yeah, our last show was actually only 5 days ago because our schedule's been bouncing around a bit. But you're probably wondering what the hell happened to altcoins in the last 5 days.
Yep.
Well, we got you. We're here for you. Bitcoin in that time has lost about $218.
Yep, which is down about 5.5%.
Ethereum, on the other hand, has gained $4.
Which is up about 1.5%.
If we're going back to look at the top 100 altcoins, only 23 of them are up versus USD. Only 43 are up versus Bitcoin. So that's overall not a good spot for them to be in. I was actually looking at these numbers. The altcoins overall are up about 1% versus Bitcoin this week. But that's all because of Ethereum. If you take Ethereum out, it's actually like minus 4%.
Ethereum leading the charge. And I think a lot of people have been saying that when Ethereum starts to perform strongly versus Bitcoin, that's a leading indicator for the rest of the altcoin space to follow. But I think we only have one past data point where that was true. So
Right.
really it's just trying to see patterns in the noise type of thing at this point.
That is how it kind of triggered off last time. That's correct.
A couple times. I mean, the 2016 run was really similar to... really tracked closely to Ethereum, and it seems like the 2017 run did too. So I think there's a good like argument to be made, and it is interesting that we're seeing this divergence now. It's kind of difficult to see it in the day to day, like we've been saying, but to see Ethereum, gaining $1.50 in value while Bitcoin loses 5%, it's easy to not realize that it's even happening. But it is kind of bubbling under the surface there a little bit. But otherwise, a rough week for altcoins. Pretty much everything is down on average. Median is down about 1% versus Bitcoin.
Yep. There were a few winners out there. Bytom up 127%.
What's the deal with Bytom? I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about it.
It's like a Chinese... It's a ICO.
Oh, all right.
I don't know much more about it. GX shares up 85%.
That's got to be an ICO as well.
Gas.
Sounds like it to me.
The latest Poloniex listing, up 69%.
That one I actually know about. You get it for free for holding Neo, which I'm sure everybody else knows about too. But
Which cracks me up because they don't have Neo on Poloniex, but they added the gas token.
oh yeah, that's right. Why would you do that? That's so weird to me.
Yeah, that's got to be they must be worried about securities or something. That's the only thing that makes
guess.
sense. Otherwise, we got Loopring up 38. That's another Chinese ICO coin, and Vertcoin up 31. Good old Vertcoin.
Yep.
Oh, maybe because of the atomic swaps.
It didn't hurt. Didn't hurt.
Got it back in people's minds. That big green V.
Never forget Vertcoin. You know, there was a time when Vertcoin was leading the charge, like way back when alts were deader than you. I mean, like the 2015 alts are dead market.
Yeah, Vertcoin was like the shining light in the darkness almost. It had a cool, super difficult proof of work algo, if I remember correctly, too.
You do remember correctly. Yep. They switched. They originally had that script N, which was
Yeah, that's right, script N.
that was supposed to be super ASIC resistant, but it was like burning up people's graphics cards or something. People did not like it.
Oh yeah, the N factor was just like a degree of difficulty for script, which already melted graphics cards, and
So that cranked it up. So then they switched to the Lyra 2 algorithm, which was a CPU algorithm. And they rocked that for a long time. I think they're still rocking the Lyra 2, unless they went to proof of stake, but I don't think they did.
no, I think there's still proof of work on Lyra 2.
Nice.
I think GPUs can mine Lyra 2 now, though. Maybe I'm wrong.
At any rate, in those dark days, Vertcoin was like the only thing that pumped, and it was cool to see.
Yeah.
And still today doing fine.
So losing some value in that 5 days. Monetha down 38%. Nexus down 29%. Agrello down 23%. OK Cash down 22%. Livecoin down 21%.
And all those seem a little weird. Nexus is just retracing from all-time highs, which is totally fine. I have an ancient bag that's just still in profits, so in profit that I don't care about a minus 29%. And OK Cash also, like, if you were buying Pimp Cash at 7 Satoshis on Blue Trade,
Right.
you would be holding OK Cash at 10,000 Satoshis, and
Oh
you would
my
be
God.
totally okay with this minus 22. I don't have any because I didn't want to buy Pimp Cash because I didn't really think there was a whole lot of value to it, and boy was I wrong.
Yep.
It's the classic
Pretty amazing
switch.
rebrand.
The old
Yeah, that's
rebrand.
one of the best, I think. One of the best rebrands. I can go to 10,000 Satoshi.
My other favorite rebrand was when WTF coin switched to World Trade Fund.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Total gear switch. Love
Yeah,
that.
another good one is S&G or Shits and Giggles coin turned to Save and Gain.
Oh, right. Yep, that's funny. But yeah, I got shook out of OK Cash at like 600 Satoshi because of a Bittrex delisting warning. I don't know what I was thinking. It's like, oh, delisting warning, I'll sell. They used to only follow through with like 1 in 20 of those.
Yeah, they hardly did, or they wouldn't do it properly. And Crypto Juggalo would always call them out for it too. I love that. He's just like, guys, looking at them and tapping his watch, like.
They had random standards back then. It was a different time.
Yeah, different time.
So anyway, yeah, that's the losers this week. Obviously none as bad as the 97% plummets that we saw in the 11 week. Looking at coins which got kicked out of the top 100 this week, we lost Monetha, Peercoin, OK Cash, Agrello, Livecoin, First Blood, and Rialto.
That's right.
First Blood surprising because that was a pretty big coin. Maybe one of the early ICOs that had a lot of attention and a lot of investment.
It has been getting beat up pretty good lately. We'll see what happens to it.
I also have seen, I think that they're holding their tournaments and stuff kind of the way that they plan to.
Like it's actually working.
Well, I haven't looked into that part, but I see them talking about their tournaments all the time.
Well, there'd
Interesting.
be nothing truer to the spirit of altcoins than dumping a project once it finally releases the hallmark feature that it's designed
so true,
around.
Man. That's so true. Oh, we're doing everything that we plan to do. Our real world use case is working out perfectly again this week. Oh, that's so boring. I don't want to have anything to do with that. Dump.
People would much rather see a roadmap like with steps left in it than a completed roadmap. It's one of the funniest things in crypto.
Yeah.
At any rate, that's what's going down there with coins that got kicked out of the top 100. Got a few new coins added this time.
That was Kyber Network getting added, MCAP, DentaCoin, Chainlink, Eidos Kunin, Zcoin, and Metaverse ETP.
Zcoin sneaking its way back in. I wasn't aware that was going up.
Yeah, not bad. We have teeth and fences in there too. Chain link fence and DentaCoin is something to do with dentists. Like I think it's I had it shilled at me and it just seems so strange.
It's kind of like on the that healthcare chain wave, but specifically aimed at the dental industry. Maybe.
No, we checked it out. We checked it out on one of the past shows. It's a really lazy clone of Patientory that's just like it looks like a cash grab ICO. I didn't like it at all.
Yeah, I think that was the impression that I got. I look at the name and I think, I'm not going to have anything to do with that. So probably you are right.
At any rate, it's going up, obviously.
Yep.
As far as the overall numbers, altcoins this week, overall valuation is at 68.1 billion. That's 3 billion down from the last show.
Yep.
We got Bitcoin dominance down 0.4% to 47.4. And again, Ethereum secretly, stealthily in the shadows, climbing back up. It's at 39.7% for Ethereum's dominance, which is its percentage of the overall altcoin market cap.
So it's pretty stable, I think, for both of those numbers.
Yeah, there was a period of huge change, and now they just kind of have been range bound for quite a while, a couple months.
All right.
That is going to do it. That's going to round up our markets this week.
Which is going to lead us into our 10,000 dot giveaway. Whew.
It's time.
Nice.
It is time to win some dot.
It's a trivia question.
The way this works, we got to have you got to be listening live to get the dot. That's just how it is. And if you are listening, you're going to send us a tweet to @ChainDynamics.
That's right.
With the answer to the question. What do we do? One guess per person?
Yep.
One guess per person.
And make sure you do the tweet publicly so that it can be obvious that you're the first one to get it right.
Yeah, no DMs.
So
Timestamp it on the Twitter blockchain. That's how it works.
Yep. Looking back at the top 200 on CoinMarketCap from July 9th, name one of the two coins that was in that top 200 category but is now not on CoinMarketCap at all.
Ooh.
We're making it tough. We got to make it tough for people. They keep guessing our questions. And next up, we're going to jump into our coin listings section. So this is we're trying to, as we've said before, we're having a hard time getting through all of the new coins. So we're going to try and see if we can catch newer coins instead in the listings section.
Yeah.
So we're essentially going to go through the new coin listings and then kind of analyze each of these coins and see what the deal is.
We're going to start with Cryptopia. And first is Monaco coin.
And don't be confused, this is not Monaco. All right, there's Monaco and there's Monaco coin. Obviously totally different.
Obviously totally different. I was fortunate enough to mine Monaco coin with my little Baikel miner, like my old 150 megahash mini miner.
just a 150.
Even though it was an X11, there was enough people not paying attention to it that little guy ROI'd himself again.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. And this one would have gone into our category of having a pretty large pre-mine, I think, too.
Yeah, we probably would have called it a pre-mine coin. But that goes to show there's still a lot of potential even in, when you're mining, like when you're in the thick of it, you don't necessarily, you're not as worried about like the purity test or like, is this coin fit my vision of what I think a great coin is, right? You're just going to mine anything that you can think you can get a ROI on. That's surprising, man. I would not have expected this to be that lucrative. That's great.
I didn't expect it either, but it opened pretty low, actually. You could have probably bought right when it got listed on Cryptopia and made like a good 5x.
Yep. Yeah, really, this it looks like they've done quite a lot with this coin since they launched it, to be honest.
So let's see, what else got listed? Equitrader?
Equitrader, that was like an old ICO that was trading a shitload, and then I thought they got delisted.
They did at one point, so this must be their relisting.
The triumphant.
Yeah, I guess so. EquiTrader was a weird one. You could mine that coin
Okay.
for weeks at like 1/5 of the ICO price, the cost to mine it.
That's hilarious.
Just for weeks. Not in large amounts, but my bag was all mined, and it's just, it didn't make sense.
That's interesting. I like it when ICOs do mining concurrent with the actual ICO because you get a better sense of what the value might be. But
Oh, for sure. You attract miners naturally because they're like, well, if I can mine it up to that ICO price, I'm going to do it because it's almost hard-baked profit.
yeah, exactly. So I guess this is their triumphant return. They're
Yeah.
back. They're back on Cryptopia.
An older coin, well, I guess this is like their something re-happened here. Digital Price is getting onto Cryptopia.
Way older. This thing's way old. Digital Price.
It's pretty old. It was a blue trade almost exclusively coin for a really long time. And
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a pretty lucky pick from this year because they have a version of crypto Facebook with crypto payments built in to tips and stuff called Scripto. And they had an ICO running, and then they just this past week stopped the ICO, refunded everyone's cryptocurrencies that they donated, of which you could donate like a dozen different ones, and paid people a little bit of digital price for their troubles. And now they're going to be running everything off of digital price. So it's enjoyed a good, it had been trading from like 150 to 400 Satoshi for months and months. And it spiked to about 2,000 when they swapped to the kind of secondary blockchain with, the obvious masternode plus the Scripto implementation. So,
Well, yeah. That's one that
They've
I
been kicking along
remember.
pretty
I
good.
remember trading
Yeah.
it on CCX actually, way back when it was being mined. I think
It looks like
right afterwards.
looks like it was trading for about 10 Satoshi for quite a while. Which is,
oh, wow. I wish I was around then. Damn.
that was before the mega altcoin breakthrough. Like in May is when it popped off.
Cool.
Which
So I'm
makes
sure,
sense.
I guess
Everyone
they
did.
had, I guess the digital price guys had their 10 Satoshi DP, and now that it hit 2,000, they were like, I guess we can self-fund after, we don't need this ICO money.
It looks like it had a launch pump up to 40,000 at one point.
Oh my.
That's crazy.
I think those were the CCX days.
That must have been it. Yeah.
Yeah, that must have been.
So they're on
Okay.
Cryptopia now, and then there's one called Block Options that I cannot find any information up for at the moment.
It's not a good sign.
It's probably out there somewhere. But then iQuant Chain is another one that got added.
iQuant Chain. Okay.
Can't say I know a lot about this one. It looks newer.
They announced it September 14th. And I see that they're doing a signature bounty. This looks pretty generic to me. Let's check out the website. The website 5iQuant.org. Also, it's an ICO. Boring.
Sure enough. And it's not even done yet or something. Huh.
It's already listed on Cryptopia. That's a little unusual.
And then there was Billionaire Token.
Maybe it has
XBL.
POW. If it had POW, if it had proof of work running, that would be cool.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Then it would be like that EquiTrader.
True.
We also had Billionaire Token. That's an ICO also.
If you ever wanted to be a billionaire, you can buy your way in.
They could have thought of a bigger number than that.
Yeah, quadrillionaire token. There's only 3 million of them. That's all pretty funny.
So that's kind of it for the Cryptopia listings. So Novaexchange, they listed Brazil.
So I'm going to take a guess that this is a generic pre-mine coin. Let's check it out.
It is mineable. Quark
Oh.
algorithm.
This looks all right.
Oh,
man.
interesting.
This looks all right. I spoke too soon. So far, I cannot find anything to not like about Brazil coin.
That's high praise coming from you.
that is high praise. Yeah, I'm totally fine with
We're all
this
just
coin.
reading this Brazil
Yeah.
coin announcement thread.
Checking it out.
It's the classic announcement format. Like
Right.
all these banners, nice centered. I gotta have my centered text. Some decreasing proof of stake rewards.
So something mineable out there maybe.
I'm okay with Brazil coin.
Another one, DFS coin.
DFS coin.
This
I wonder what that stands for.
It's an ICO. Shitty ICO.
An ICO for some sort of gaming thing, maybe fantasy something. EPR coin, I couldn't find anything on. GOKU coin, this is a revival of a coin about Dragon Ball Z, I think, or Goku.
Yeah, this is definitely not the first GOKU coin.
I think it is the same Goku
Oh,
coin.
okay. All right. Nice.
But it's getting listed on Novaexchange. VSync also getting listed.
VSync I've seen like in these lists like 10,000 times.
It's definitely gone through a swap, and at this point there's 2 VSyncs on CoinMarketCap, so I certainly don't know all the details of that story.
Eventually you just keep seeing the same coin in the listings week after week, and you wonder how is that possible. And then you realize they've done like 6 swaps or something absurd.
Yeah, Eclipse is like that for me. Just coins called Eclipse were launched and launched and launched and launched.
So many.
Exactly.
Next up we have Dark Matter.
Dark Matter. This one's getting traded now on Novaexchange, like Brando said.
This looks alright. This is probably would have gone in the pre-mine category if I was gonna categorize it. Short proof of work, decently sized pre-mine.
These ones will all be on CoinMarketCap soon if they weren't, that's for sure.
That is true. Yep.
So they'll be on our list next time.
That was Dark Matter.
There was EGAR coin, which I can't really find anything about.
The ticker is EGAR. That's on Novaexchange. How about this? Ethereum Dark. Just when you thought your Ethereum couldn't get any darker.
Ethereum Dark will also probably be on CoinMarketCap soon, would be my guess.
No, definitely. If this is a script coin, I'm going to be pissed off.
Oh, I bet it is now.
It's mainly proof of stake.
Which means it was ICO'd or airdropped or something.
No, I bet it's going to have just a big old pre-mine. Airdrop. Looks like it had a small airdrop. So this is funny. I think it's great when people just tack coin words onto other coin words to make new coins. But if you're going to call it Ethereum Dark, it should be either a clone of Ethereum or Dash. If it's just a generic script, then you've lost me.
Yeah, it really doesn't jive with the naming convention of altcoins.
Yeah, exactly. If you wanna co-opt these absurd names, you might as well. You got to carry it all the way through.
Something with the ticker POS, but I can't even figure out which one they're trying to point out this might be. So that's there. Bridgecoin also listed.
BCO Bridgecoin. This is the first exchange for Bridgecoin, right?
Besides its own exchange.
Yeah, aside from their own, which is I don't know. I love them. I mined a bunch on launch. I got a great average. I think they had that classic like kind of low information for the early miners and really kind of smart discussion in the Bitcoin Talk thread, which is increasingly a rarity. To be honest, it reminded me of the surprisingly high quality of the DNet thread, which became PivX.
Nice.
So,
that's a good observation.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, the classic stealth announcement play on this one. Love it. I mined some and I was pissed because I thought I got a bad ROI on it, but it's trading way higher now, so I'm just fine. I'm just fine with it.
Just fine.
So they'll probably be on CoinMarketCap soon as well, like we mentioned during that segment. And then there's B3 coin getting listed. This is an older coin. It's probably just in the... there's no pre-mine, so...
B3 coin. Sweet.
Maybe they were delisted and then were homeless for a while, and then they got...
Could be something like that.
They Nova'd it. It's about a year old. We also had... that's it for Novaexchange, I guess. Over at Livecoin, they added Grossel coin.
Nice, adding an older coin.
Isn't that the first coin to get segregated witness?
That's one of their claims to fame, man.
Yeah.
And then over on coinexchange.io, they listed CBANK, crypto bank. Can't really find anything there. They listed porn token, which I can't find either.
You just didn't look hard enough, obviously.
I found like 7,000 things. No. And then ETHBits also got listed, which, let's see, we have a link for that one.
ETHBits. I think that's another coin with ETH in the name, but it's just like a script clone.
Looks like an ICO.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. I was thinking of something else. It is an ICO, though.
Over on Liqui, they listed the Decentraland Mana.
Oh, shit. That's
interesting.
That could be a big listing.
They also listed Proppy Inc. And they listed the Kyber network.
Kyber
which
network.
was one of the ones that showed up in the top 100, I believe, this week, right?
Oh, that's
So
interesting.
that's probably one of those ICOs that kind of just has a big value right off the bat.
I don't know anything about Kyber Network, but I really appreciate it when coins name their product after like a fictional material from comic books and stuff. So, and I'm all for it. I think Kyber is from Star Wars, I think. But there's also
interesting.
Unobtainium, all those coins. I think there was an adamantium coin at one point.
Espers is the classic go-to for me.
Nice.
Final Fantasy VII action.
Nice. That's a good call.
How do you guys like Liqui as an exchange? It's pretty new. I haven't really made an account there. I've just surfed there a couple times, but
I think that if you want to get new Ethereum assets before they hit the major markets, it's the best place to do it. So it's got a really valuable role there. And in terms of whether you're just trying to, if you just want to send a little Bitcoin over to purchase a little bit of some token, then it's more than adequate for that. But it's not. They have some like reliability issues and that kind of stuff. It's not robust enough to do algorithmic trading and stuff on.
got it. So like small amounts, maybe primarily like ETH-based currency, or do they have a Bitcoin pair for everything too?
They do. They have Bitcoin and USDT pair for everything. Originally,
neat.
they leaned really heavily on the ETH base at first, but I think they mainly do Bitcoin trading. Probably is the main thing at this point.
Cool. I will give them another look.
Yeah, it's one of those things. They don't have they haven't been around that long. The technical quality of the website is not super high, so it's something where I wouldn't leave a large deposit or trust a huge amount to it. But for just if you see a coin on there and you want to buy it, there's no reason that you should feel afraid to go for it.
I'm sure it's better than Coined Up.
Yeah, exactly. I would say I would kind of rate it maybe alongside Coin Exchange. I think Coin Exchange has a little bit better interface, but
Yeah. Okay. That sounds good.
So let's just look back through the coin listings briefly. I like that even though I don't feel overwhelmed by ICOs in this listing chunk, which is nice. There's a little bit of a mix of things.
That's true. I think that Decentraland is probably the most interesting one for me. Maybe just because we had those guys on the show at one point, but
Yeah.
otherwise the Equitrader relisting might be the most consequential.
I'm excited about that Bridgecoin listing as well.
Oh yeah, Bridgecoin's probably the biggest in hindsight. That's the only one of these.
I
that
think that one's going to be. It's going to get some legs if they manage to score a Bittrex listing. I think they're like the right motivated implementation of a BitShares exchange. Like you hold Bridgecoin, you get half. Bridgecoin holders rather get half of the exchange's trade fees. So
nice.
That's incentive. I think that BitShares as a decentralized exchange with nodes just didn't kind of have.
But yeah, overall, I think a pretty good week for listings altogether. Nice,
Yeah, definitely.
Nice mix of stuff, like you said, Woody. Still, nothing. Bittrex and Poloniex have been so sheepish lately. It's got to be this ICO, the fear. I think it's got to be the fear that they have. But
they're the only two American exchanges on this list, right?
yeah, that I know of. Yep.
Yeah, that's true. I'm wondering also if it's in part like the reason why we don't know more is because Poloniex you can't contact them at all, but at least Bittrex there's been so many issues with Slack when they changed their whole thing where now you can choose anybody else's username and those are no longer unique. They've just endured such massive phishing attacks that people have been moving away from Slack in droves to like Rocket Chat and Discord and all that, and I'm sure they're dealing with user issues generated by the use of Slack itself.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. We're shitcoin traders. We're just constantly looking for listings, but it's easy to forget how much other stuff these exchanges deal with and how their schedules can get dominated by support-related issues and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's true. Well, I mean, you've seen stuff with Cryptopia. Hex doesn't put up with a lot of crap, and he's had to, the whole Ryblox deal where he was suddenly getting 7,000 in questionable English support requests for tiny amounts of Ryblox and everything. Like he wouldn't stand for that support. It's the biggest cost that an exchange has, and so that's why they love any kind of Ethereum-based token, because they already know how to handle the Ethereum blockchain, and it's just one more thing on that network. So a sovereign blockchain is a lot of work for them. You better know what you're doing with it if you want to get and keep a listing on a place like Bittrex or anywhere else.
That is true. And then like all the 51% attacks that have been just going like crazy lately too, I'm sure it affects their thinking as well.
Oh, for sure. And they're trying to reach out to devs who are just kind of like, my hobby coin is what?
Yeah, I forgot about this thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, cool stuff. As far as our coin birthdays, I don't think we had any birthdays.
Not finding anything worth noting this week.
Crazy.
They're probably out there, though.
I'm sure.
I always hope that someday somebody would be like, oh, here's my coin's birthday, but nobody ever does.
Apparently people aren't keeping that close of track as we are.
You guys are the only ones with the cake and the presents and the streamers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We've got it. We'll put it on a nice little party.
And that's going to kind of wrap up the show.
That's it. As always, we got to give a huge thanks to our friend Not So Fast.
Thanks for having me, guys. I'm so glad to have been invited, and I look forward to the time we get together again. I guess that'll be like December-ish.
It'll be late, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a while from now.
I'm going to start putting together the Wolong Awards here pretty soon.
Oh,
The
and
second
round 2
annual,
of the Wolongs.
A new year,
That should be fun.
new episode of the Wolong Awards.
Excellent.
That will be fun. But yeah, again, huge thanks to Not So Fast for coming on. We always love having him to help us revisit the last 10 weeks in crypto.
Woo.
Do not forget, we're brought to y'all by Cryptopia.co.nz. You're going to want to check them out. Great altcoin platform.
That's right.
All the futures that you've been craving.
Stop by the altcoin forums. We got a thread stickied at the top. Say hi. Appreciate it. You can also check us out on blockchaindynamics.net. A variety of other podcast softwares. This has been episode number 80, Air by Trial Radio. And we'll see you next week with heavier bags.
Peace.
See ya.
Currency.
Like a couple Bitcoins.
Money, 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 though.
Hold up on my Nakamoto.